New questions as we follow the money trail behind the mosque near Ground Zero. Brand new hour here of America Live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. Ever heard of a man named Sharif El-Gamal? You have now. Roll it.
Where have you raised the money, Mr. El-Gamal? Where's all the money come from? Sharif El-Gamal, why won't you talk to us, sir? Why are you running? Why are you running? We have legitimate questions for you, sir. Why won't you answer any of them?
5 years ago, this man was waiting tables in Manhattan. Today, he is spending millions in cash on New York real estate, including on the building where this mosque will go. Charles Leaf has a must-see report from our Fox affiliate WNYW in New York.
While Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf has dominated headlines, this man, 37-year-old developer Sharif El-Gamal, is actually the central figure behind the Ground Zero Mosque. Yet just a few years ago, El-Gamal was waiting tables in Manhattan restaurants.
He was an awesome guy. He's a real hustler and a real go-getter.
Naturally, we wanted to meet Sharif El-Gamal. We wanted to learn more about the man and his plans. But apparently, he didn't want to meet with us. We made repeated requests for a sit-down interview with him, left him multiple voice messages, and he never returned any of our calls. We even went to his office and talked to some of his colleagues, but we were turned away. So we were left with no choice but to go find him. Sharif El-Gamal, hi, I'm Charles Lee from Fox 5 News. How are you? I'd like to ask you a couple questions. El-Gamal immediately tried to get away from us, refusing to answer my questions. More on our meeting in a minute, but first, who is Sharif El-Gamal? He's an American Muslim, reportedly born to a Polish mother and an Egyptian father, raised in Brooklyn. Today, El-Gamal's company, Soho Properties, owns the building where arguably the most controversial mosque in the world will be built. He bought the old Burlington Coat Factory building at 45 Park Place, just 2 blocks from the World Trade Center site, for $4.8 million in cash last year. Can you tell us where you got the money to raise the money, to put down all that money on the mosque? El-Gamal stayed silent. His newfound notoriety, an extraordinary leap from his not-too-distant days as a waiter at Serafina, a trendy Upper East Side eatery, and at Michael's, an upscale, celebrity-filled restaurant packed with a veritable who's who in media. El-Gamal's former restaurant bosses and co-workers tell Fox 5 the young, opportunistic El-Gamal thrived on the buzz from bumping elbows with marquee names and relished the opportunity to schmooze the high-dollar clientele.
Customers would come in and ask for him, you know, and he had his regular customers. He was really good.
El-Gamal left Serafina in 2002 and started selling real estate. But in just a year, he went from broker to business owner, launching his own real estate company, Soho Properties, in 2003. Records show he's the president and CEO. This is a peek inside his futuristic-looking office in Midtown. A longtime associate of his says El-Gamal isn't quite who he seems to be. He's asked us to protect his identity because he fears retribution.
And I was pretty much in shock when I saw him on the news as a developer. What I can say about Sharif is nothing good.
He says El-Gamal liked living in the fast lane, meeting celebs in the restaurants where he worked, then partying with them at nightclubs.
Very persuasive, master manipulator.
Today, El-Gamal's holdings include at least 4 buildings in Manhattan, including the mosque at Ground Zero, this commercial building in Chelsea, and 2 residential buildings in Washington Heights, where tenants seem to like him.
The previous owners didn't fix anything. This one, at least, it take a couple of weeks, but they fix it.
Mine is entirely renovated. It's really good. It's really nice inside.
Records show El-Gamal bought the Washington Heights properties in 2007 for a little less than $3 million each.
I don't think he has a lot of money.
Ken Brandmond is a real estate broker himself and knows El-Gamal well. He, too, was a bit surprised to hear El-Gamal is the developer in the Ground Zero Mosque.
I'm sure he didn't buy it with his own money.
Remember, El-Gamal's Soho Properties bought the site for the Ground Zero Mosque for $4.8 million in cash. And just 4 months later, with Manhattan's real estate market collapsed, El-Gamal made an even bigger deal. With credit super tight and prices plummeting, he paid $45 million for this 12-story commercial building in Chelsea that sold 3 years earlier for $31.5 million.
Seems like a lot to pay for a building in a downturn, considering it went for considerably less during the boom.
El-Gamal, the waiter turned mogul, plunked down another $5 million as a down payment on that Chelsea building.
Unless someone just gave him a lot of money, or unless he won the lottery, that somebody else put up the money.
Fox 5 News has learned El-Gamal did have help from a man named Hisham El-Zante. These mortgage documents show he is the guarantor of the $39 million loan El-Gamal's company assumed to buy the building. Where have you raised the money, Mr. El-Gamal? Where's all the money come from? Sharif El-Gamal, why won't you talk to us, sir? Why are you running? Why are you running? We have legitimate questions for you, sir. Why won't you answer any of them?
Well, our thanks to Charles Lee for that report earlier today.